Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketplace Monday. I hope you guys are all doing well, feeling well. Man, I got to tell you, I really enjoyed the service yesterday. Thank you all for those that came out and participated. Really, really appreciate you. Love you. Thank you so much. So, today we're going to get into Marketplace Monday and we're going to talk about a subject that everybody kind of likes to talk about, but sometimes isn't really prepared for. So, we're going to talk today about negotiating with wisdom, getting the raise or offer you deserve. A lot of people come to me and they ask me about, what kind of, career should I go and do, Pastor? I work at this job and I really like it, but I don't make quite the money I want to make. Um, I want to go get another job. How do I make sure that I'm treated fairly, or how do I make sure that I get what I want? Basically, is the conversation. Um, so let me just tell you that um, today, what I want to do is I want to dive into what I would say is one of the most important areas of you being employed, but it also is one of the most misunderstood conversations that go on in the workplace. And what is that? How do you negotiate for a raise or a new job, right? And what happens is too many people when they're thinking about getting a raise, when they're going for a new job, when they're looking, let's say they go through the whole interview process and now they have the job offer. Too many people enter into that period talking about the new job, talking about the raise, having the discussion. Too many people enter into that period unprepared. Watch this: emotionally, financially, and strategically. Too many people enter into negotiating for a raise, a new job, a better offer. Too many people enter into that phase of the conversation unprepared emotionally, financially, and strategically. Remember this: God is not just a God of provision, but He also is a God of positioning. And the way that we position ourselves and the way that we are positioned in the situation is going to make all the difference. Let me say it again: the way that we position ourselves to our employer that we're trying to get a raise from, to our new employer that we're trying to negotiate the best deal from, the way that we position ourselves and how we, listen to what I'm saying, it's two things here, how we are positioned to go into that makes all the difference in the world. Makes all the difference in the world. So if you're going to ask for more, right, for more money, for a better position, for a better job, you need to be ready for more. So what I want to do is in this episode today, I want to teach you and talk to you about some of the different steps that it takes to get there. So step number one, write this down, and I think this helps a lot. Be ready to walk. I think one of the key things that most people struggle with when it comes to negotiating a raise, negotiating a better job offer, negotiating a new position is they're not ready to walk. And not only that, they don't even understand how to negotiate. Negotiation is all about leverage. That's all it is. It's like right now, you see on the world stage, everybody's going nuts over Donald Trump's tariffs. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable for a short period of time. But what Donald Trump is doing is he's trying to get leverage that the United States has given away. He's trying to get some of that leverage back by what? Demonstrating that we're willing to go through some tough times because we can definitely outweight the other side. Pastor, what does that have to do with what we're doing? Same in a job. If you're not prepared to walk, and you're asking for more money, especially if it's a lot more money, right? You could be in for a rude awakening. So you got to get ready to walk because that helps you financially and emotionally, right? So never, ever, write this down, never negotiate from desperation. Never negotiate from desperation. What do you mean, Pastor? If you're going to negotiate for a new job, if nobody's offered you a raise and you're going to step up to the plate and ask for a substantial increase, make sure your emergency fund is intact. Number one. Number two, make sure that you have mental peace. In other words, you're ready to go through the process of finding another job. Why? Because when your finances are in order and your mental is in order, it gives you the leverage you need to negotiate, to walk away. So what's the point here? Power in negotiation comes from preparation, not pressure. Power in negotiation comes from preparation, not pressure. I watch this a lot. I'll give you an example. This might hit, I don't know if Harry's on, but this will hit the car sales guys. You go in the room to buy a car, and the car sales guys, they're not even prepared, the finance guys, to talk about the numbers of why you need this warranty or why you need that warranty. Hey, do you want the warranty that, we'll replace your key if you lose it? No, I don't want that. Hey, do you want the warranty that will fix your rims if you scratch them? No, I don't want that. Hey, do you want the warranty? No, I don't want that. Well, instead of saying it that way, hey, do you want the warranty that replaces your key unless you lose it? No, I don't want that. Let me ask you, John, are you aware that a key replacement for that Maserati is $1,700? That's negotiation. You're giving them that information that they need. So, when you're negotiating a raise, there's a lot of things that you got to have. And that brings us to point number two. You got to come in when you want more money on a job offer, when you want a raise, you got to come in with metrics. Write that down. You got to come in with metrics, not just emotions. And the one thing you never want to say when you're asking for more, let me help y'all out because this is becoming a very common thing. One thing you never want to say is, I deserved it or I've earned it. One thing you never want to say is, I deserved it or I earned it. You have to be able to show tangible impact that you've made. You have to be able to use data. You have to be able to use KPIs. You have to be able to use achievements to make your case. You have to pull up, if you're asking for a raise, you got to pull up those 4 or 5 and print them out. Last reviews. Hey, here, hand them the reviews. Hey, here you go, John. Here are my last 5 reviews over the last year or year and a quarter. Let's walk through them one at a time. And let's find some commonality in each of the reviews. In each of the reviews, John said that you perform above expectations. So you go through each one of them, you read a couple of things, and then you read John performs above expectation. You go through a couple more. The next one you read, John performs above expectation. John performs above expectation. Then at the very end, you say, so John, let me ask you, what is the theme of all of my reviews? Well, the theme is you perform above expectation. Okay. So see, your raise isn't about how you feel. It's about what you produced. Your raise isn't about how you feel. It's about what you produced. I don't understand. Every time you guys need something, you need this presentation, you need that, you call on me. I mean, don't you feel I'm valuable? Ask the hard question. If you're going for a new job and you're negotiating a better salary, one of the key things to know is, what should the salary be? Same thing when you're asking for a raise. What should your salary be? Go do the market research on your salary. Some of y'all are making way more than the market bears already. So it might be just time to move on, not time to ask for more. When you're asking for more money in any position, when you're asking for a raise, when you're asking for a promotion, write this down. When you're asking for more money, when you're asking for a raise, when you're asking for a promotion, you must frame the conversation. Write this down. Frame the conversation around your team that you are part of or the company vision. Frame the conversation around the team or your company vision. What does that mean? Show how your growth will help the company grow. Show how as you've gotten better, the company's gotten better. The impact that you have made. Make your raise a win-win. Yesterday I was on the phone, a couple of days ago, I was on the phone with a girl. She's actually right here in Orlando. She works for Clear. I was calling to get my wife's Clear thing fixed. She was just one of the best customer service reps I've ever talked to on the phone. I mean, you could just tell her goal was to make sure I was a happy customer. And as a result of that, I don't know her name, but I wrote her a review. I mean, we had such a personal conversation. She told me that she went to, I told her I was a pastor. She went to the Rock on Colonial. She actually said she's going to come and visit our church. Think about that. I mean, how much more personal? So as a result, I wrote her a review. When people write reviews, they're there. People see the reviews. So what's the takeaway here? Self-centered, right? Ask, rarely get buy-in. Self-centered asks, rarely get buy-in, right? When you're asking only because of you, when it's only just about you. Team center asks when support. When you ask about the team, when they know it's about you building the team, right? You contribute to the team. You're demonstrating that, right? Number 4, don't ever ask for more than 20% without options in hand. Look, if you're going to walk in your office, if you make $80,000 a year and you're going to tell them you want to go to 100, you better be ready to walk. Because they're going to know now that you're really not unhappy. I mean, that you're really unhappy. And a lot of times, there's nothing these managers can do. A lot of these managers have bands that you have to fit within. And there's nothing they can do about it. The average raise is somewhere between, I would say, 2 and 4%, 2 and 5%. So if you get a raise of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11%, that's huge. If you're asking for a big jump, right, you need to already have contemplated what your next steps are, been ready for your next steps. Or a lot of times, you need to go get another offer in hand. That always helps you get a raise. Get another offer in hand. Now, a lot of people don't want to do the work to go out and get another job and find another. They don't want to do that. But sometimes that's the best way to get the raise that you want if you want to stay where you're at. Big leaps require big backup. Big leaps require big prior actions. Write this down. Don't bluff, be ready. Don't bluff, be ready. And then lastly, for this subject, discern the right timing and person. Discern when is the right timing to ask and who do I go to? The who and when of your request can be just as important as what you say. The who and when of your request. There's been times I've went to a mid-tier boss to ask about a raise or ask about a promotion. And they did not make the decision. So they believed that I deserved it. So they prepared me to talk to the VP because they knew that's who I was going to have to talk to. So the who and when, and also that person told me, hey, we're in the middle of, because I don't know what's going, sometimes you don't know what's going on in the management meetings. And the person told me one time, we're in the middle of cutting half the staff. How many of you know probably not a good time to ask for more money? So divine timing meets preparation. It's not just what you say. Again, it's when and who you say what you say to. Again, divine timing meets preparation. Get prepared, be ready, but talk around, especially again, if you're talking significant increase or significant change or a significant promotion. It's not just who you are. Same with if you're looking for a new job. This is what I hate about people when they're looking for new jobs and they get traction on one interview and it looks like it's going, they stop interviewing for the other places. Why would you ever stop interviewing? Get multiple offers in hand. When you're negotiating for the job you want, hey, listen, I'd love to take the job. I appreciate it, but I'm getting offered $10,000 more from XYZ company. You know what I do when somebody tells me that when I'm trying to hire them? It's real simple. Show me the offer and I not only will match it, I'll increase it by 5%. Show me the offer. Not only will I match it, but I'll increase that offer by 5%. Show me the offer letter. Because sometimes the person that's hiring you, they need ammo to go negotiate up for you. Because again, there are bands. But if they could take an offer and go show it to their boss and they really want you, they'll get you the money. So you got to be prepared. You got to have the right timing. Write this down. Last one in closing. God gives favor, but wisdom teaches us how to ask. Write that down. God gives us favor, but wisdom teaches us how to ask. We got to be prepared. We got to be ready. And he wrote down, don't bluff, be ready. That's right. Can't bluff. This ain't poker, man. Make sure you have your ducks in a row. Amen. Listen, I love you guys. If any of you are going for raises, promotions, or more money, just let me know. You know how to hit me up. Pastor Nick at ltmorlando.org. You can email me anytime. Pastor Nick at ltmorlando.org. Pastor Nick at ltmorlando.org. Email me your questions. I'll respond. I love you. I love you. I love you. Until Wednesday with my wife. Wednesday, we'll be on. Enjoy life.